Good afternoon. My name is Shannon. Welcome to King Family Farm. It's been ages, I know. I've been busy substitute teaching at our local schools, and I've really been enjoying that. And I've been trying to figure out how to make that all work together. So today, I have some seed orders, and I thought I would share them with you. And I also found some seeds that I bought ages ago that I lost. So I'll show you those as well. So the thing with seeds is I do buy them every year, but it's not really required that you buy new seeds every year. You can save them. So it's not really stressing me out that these seeds were packed for 2021. So this is Grand Rapids, which is a loose leaf lettuce, which I really like. It's from West Coast Seeds. This is a loose leaf called Darkness. I like some color in my salad, so I thought I would try that. I remember ordering it. And this is called Green Reef, and it's an easy leaf, so it grows like a head. But if you cut just a little higher on it, it all falls apart into baby leaf lettuce, but you don't have to weed in between the baby leaf, which is what I absolutely hate about growing muscovy mix. So I grow a variety of colors of this easy leaf, and it works so much better for me. And it's pelleted seed, which I also really enjoy when it's really tiny seed. And they are like this tiny little, they're individual balls. They're much easier to seed, and you can see what you're doing. And I also find they help retain moisture a bit. So I have those. What else do I have hiding in here? It's just this random box I found when I was cleaning stuff out. And pelleted carrot seed. So carrot seed is one of those seeds that won't germinate as well as you hold it. I'm hoping this still does good. We're going to just plant it a little heavier and hope for the best. But there is approximately 4,300 carrot seeds in that package. So that's West Coast Seeds. I'm trying to think what else have I got here. Ooh, I got a Vessey's order. I order from a variety of seed houses. I tried to order Canadian. Of course, I didn't know I had that big package of seeds, so I ordered more pelleted carrot seeds. They're the same variety though. They're called Bolero. They're a variety I really enjoy growing. So I've ordered 2 of those, and then I ordered a large package of Pro-Cut orange sunflowers, which I use for my cut flower production. Pumpkin, I've got warty gnome, which is, it'll have like warts on it like this. This is Blanco, which is a white pumpkin. And then I ordered some sunflower, Pro-Cut White Knight. The Pro-Cut series are pollenless, which is fantastic for cut flower production because they don't dump pollen all over your tables. It doesn't mean that they don't produce nectar, so they're still great for pollinators if you want to leave them in the garden. But if you intend to use sunflowers for table arrangements or for a wedding, you want something like this that's intended. This is a Pro-Cut Red. You want to use them because they won't dump yellow pollen all over your white wedding dress. So, Benary's Giant Zinnia, and I've got a Queen Lime Zinnia. They're calling them Queenie Lime. They're finally starting to come down in price a little bit. They're really, really nice. I like the lime. This is a lime red, which is kind of a blush color with a bit of lime tinge to it, and another lime red. And I think that's it for the most recent Vessey's order. And I'm like in the midst of putting all my seeds away. I cleaned off my desk because tax season, and I need to work on my desk. So that's how this came about today. I got another West Coast order seed order. This came, probably before Christmas. Yeah, before Christmas. But here we are. What else have we got? This is one of my favorite cucumbers to grow, Marketmore 76. It's a slicing cucumber. I think it's a really great field cucumber. It's the one I use to make mustard pickle with, and it works really well. This is one of my favorite tomatoes to grow, Black Krim. I've got a Butter Crunch. This is a head lettuce, and I just like that buttery lettuce. It's real nice texture. Sweet Million cherry tomatoes. I'm going to try cauliflower this year. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it because I kind of like it, and I resent paying $7 for a head of it at the grocery store. And I don't, so we just don't eat it. I'm going to try broccoli again this year. I think what we're going to do this year with broccoli, because last year it just bolted on me. It went right to seed. I'm going to try planting it a little bit later and hope that it doesn't get that freeze that tells us it's time to go to seed. And hopefully we actually get heads of broccoli. That would be nice. And then my kids really want to grow giant pumpkins. So we've got this Dill's Atlantic Giant. I'm going to start those inside. Normally I don't start my pumpkins inside. They just don't really like being transplanted, but my kids want to grow these giant pumpkins. So I'm going to try starting them inside and see what we get. And then we've got an eggplant here, Traviata. Yes. And we've got leeks here, Taderna, which I haven't had a really successful crop of leeks, but I love leeks. So I really want to grow them because you get 3 leeks at the grocery store for $5, which, you know, seems a little obnoxious when this seed packet here is $5.99 and there's 200 seeds in there. Yeah. Having your own seeds is so much cheaper. This is a new squash I decided to try this year. It just looked really interesting. It's a Japanese heirloom cultivated for hundreds of years. Forms small decorative pumpkin-like fruits with cantaloupe-scented flesh. Particularly sweet fruits will keep for months in storage. It just looked interesting. I thought I would try it. I've got a loose leaf lettuce here, Azrilla. Now this is one of those like easy leaf type ones. It's a head lettuce, but you can cut it into baby leaf really easily. But it's not pelleted. And this doesn't have a picture on it, but this is the Rouge Vif d'Étain. And it's like a Cinderella type pumpkin that's very squat and flat and red. And Burgess Buttercup squash, super popular here. Everybody loves it. I prefer acorn squash, but this is a harder sale than the buttercup squash that everybody seems to like. This is a pumpkin called Naked Bear, and it is like a pie pumpkin, but the seeds inside are hullless, which means that they're really great for roasting. My kids really like pumpkin seeds, so I'm going to try these this year and see what we get. And then this is an ornamental eggplant pumpkin on a stick. It's for decorative purposes. This is like a warty type pumpkin, and I thought it would be really interesting to grow. It's an heirloom, mildew resistant, which is nice here because we really damp weather. So I'm hoping that helps it hold on. And then I have this Helona cantaloupe. I'm still trying to grow a decent melon. We're going to try again this year. I suck at it. Our weather isn't really good for that kind of thing. So, and then this is another one of those easy leaf type lettuces. It is Brentwood, and it's a red lettuce that I really like. And then today I'm actually going to start onions. It's February 3rd, so I'm a little behind on my onions. It's not going to be terrible. So I've got the same red onions I had last year. And then I also have this Patterson F1. They're coated, but the F1 is a hybrid. And I don't grow exclusively heirloom seeds. I know it says right on the back that these are non-GMO. But here's the thing. GMO seeds are not available to the general public. So you're never going to buy accidentally GMO seeds. But an F1 hybrid, I don't have a problem with. That's just an intentional cross, but it's not altered at the genetic, right at the cellular level, like a GMO is. So, and sometimes you get a lot better product with a hybrid. And this onion, I've grown it before and I really, really like it. What else do I have? Oh, this is just seed that's been lying around. There's some fennel. I really like fennel. And I'm sorting through my seeds, so there's like a mess of seeds everywhere. And then I'm pretty positive I showed you guys this envelope of seeds that I got ages ago from Baker Creek. But there's like peppers in here and tomatoes, Dr. Witchy's, I'm probably saying that wrong. Yellow tomato. This one I'm really excited about, the Black Beauty. And I finally get to grow this one, Brad's Atomic Grape. There's a couple in here that I'm actually really, really interested in growing that I haven't grown before. I'm looking for it. There it is. This is the one I'm really excited about. This is the Paul Robeson. That's supposed to be really, really good. And hopefully we get a nice crop off that. I'm not going to go through all those because I have shown them before in a previous video. Add that to my vegetable seed pile. And I have another seed order coming. It's, they always take a little bit longer. It's from William Dam Seeds. And I really like their product. They have great stuff. They just take a little longer to bring it in, and whatever. If I want onions, I just make sure I order them the previous year. So that's kind of it for the new seeds I have this year. So I'm currently just organizing all of the seeds I have and getting that together. And then I'm going to start some onion seeds today. So this is like my mess of seeds that I've got in older packages, and I'm going to sort them. I have 2 of these containers that are all labeled. Some of these seed packages you can see have water damage, and they're older, and that's okay. The germination rates won't be as good on something like this that's really damaged, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. So I've sorted my seeds out into these. These are photo keepers. Does anybody print photos anymore? Anyways, that's what these are. They come in a big case. You can buy them at Michael's. You can buy them online. If you're in Canada, buy them at Michael's. They're cheaper than Amazon. I don't know why Amazon thinks that all of a sudden they should be $50, but they're not that expensive. So I have a few. I put the leeks in with my onions. I'm not ready to start them yet. Ooh. I also have some Parade organic bunching onions, and I will start those as well. But I'm going to start this package of Patterson. They're coated. They're an F1 hybrid, like I said before. And all I've got here is an open tray. This is a 1020 tray. It's a deeper one. It's not one of those shallow, like micro green trays. You can put them in individual cells. I have done that in the past. I did that last year. I don't feel like doing that this year. So I'm going to scatter over this tray. There are 250 seeds in this package. If I can get into it. I'm trying to get into it without wrecking the whole seed packet so that I keep the information. Apparently this package is also compostable. This particular package, see how it's got a label like this. With this company, sometimes they come like this because they run out of packages instead of like this with a nice picture on it. And on the back, the growing instructions are non-existent. But you just go online and you can get that. Otherwise, there's seed packages like this. And then on the back, it's very detailed. And it even has like a little scale on it for measuring and all the information needed. So these are fairly small seeds. They're not black because they have a little coat on them. So they're kind of silvery in color, which is nice because you can see them hit the tray. You can see the soil, see the seeds on the soil, which is nice. You want to have a very nice light seed starting mix. You don't want to have, I soaked this down a couple days ago and it's kind of compacted, so I'm just playing with it. You don't want to have garden soil. Garden soil, way too heavy for seeds. They will not start. So the roots are just so fine when they get going, they can't push through the soil. So you want to make sure that you're using a seed starting mix, which is generally actually soilless. And it's very light. It holds moisture well. And that's what you're looking for. So I'm literally just going to sprinkle these seeds on the tray. So I've put my tripod right in the tray here because that's just the easiest way. And I'm just going to sprinkle them and try and give them, you can kind of see them hitting the soil. Try and give them as much room as possible. And then I'm going to put a little bit of soil over top of them. Oop. They're a very slender plant, so 250 in a tray is just fine. And what we're going to do is wait for them to sprout. They don't need any heat for them. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm just going to push them a bit so they've got contact. Good contact with the soil. Just like that. I'm not going to put these on any heat. They just don't need it. And then they don't need to be sown particularly deeply, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. So I'm just going to continue here seeding some onions. I'll probably do, those are the Patterson hybrid. Don't forget to label your trays because you're not going to remember what you put in them. I know I don't. So the only thing I use is just some green painter's tape and a Sharpie and write down what it is. This tray is the Patterson hybrid. I'm also going to start these red ones. And I think I'm going to do a tray of bunching onions. And I like to do a succession of bunching onions because I don't want them all coming in at once. It seems like we're planting a lot of onions. There's like 250 in each package. Seems like a lot. But when you use garlic and onions in just about everything you cook when you're making dinner, it's not as much as it seems. So these ones are not coated, so that's an onion seed that's not coated and they're black. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Try and sprinkle them fairly evenly. I hope everybody's gardens are at the very least in the planting stages for this year. That's the real fun part, is making sure you're getting your plan all together. So, and then like the other one, scoop of soil. And we're just going to make sure it's nice and loose on top. Cover these seeds up. And just give it a real gentle pat so that it's has good contact with the soil, because that's what you want. And then you can put a humidity dome on these to maintain the humidity. I don't think that's going to be really necessary. This tray, until they germinate, there's really not that much that's going to absorb a lot of the water, so they're not going to dry out that fast. But once they start growing, they are really going to start using the water, and then you'll have to watch a little bit more. But because they're under soil, you're not going to have to worry too much about a humidity dome, unless your house is particularly hot and dry, which ours is not. Well, upstairs is today. You can see it's really sunny, and so our house upstairs is like 26 degrees Celsius. So, and there's that tray. I've just patted it down, made sure we put a label on it, and we're just going to put it aside on the floor and let them do their thing. They probably take a week to germinate, around that. So, but that's under ideal conditions. So don't You know, don't be in a panic. Just give your onions time to germinate, and you'll grow really big onions if you grow from seed. If you grow onions from sets, which is like the little bulbs, and I have a bunch of small onions from last year, and I will plant them as a set because they're like that big. So I decided to save them, plant them as sets. What they are is they're in their second season, and onions are a biennial. So what happens is they want to go to flower, which if you're seed saving is a great thing. But because I'm growing, the red onions are a heirloom, so I could save from them. But the yellow onions are a hybrid. So whatever I'm saving the seed from, I'm not necessarily going to get what I think I'm going to get. But what I want to do is use the tops. So I'm going to plant those as sets and cut the tops off and use them to make herb salad this year. So that's my plan with that. So I'm not too concerned that I ended up with a bunch of smaller onions. So now this is the Parade Organic. They're a bunching onion, and I'm just sprinkling them in a tray. Now these, because you're not looking for a bulb and you really want the leaf, these are actually labeled as something, I think it's 55 days. So you can actually direct sow these even where I live, where we're zone 3B. I don't know that, I know there's been a big change in growing zones in the US, and I don't know that Canada has really, I haven't been paying attention. So I'm not super concerned about that. I still pretend that I'm 3B, and that way I don't have to worry about losing my my perennial plants. But you can direct sow these, which is fine. But I really would like to have early ones. They're like the first thing that's ready in spring is those nice green onions, and they just taste so good. And I really want to take early ones to market. So I'm going to start a tray of them indoors, and then what I'll do is wait a bit, probably a month, and start another tray so that I can succession plant all of these. And for my purposes, you can plant green onions from sets, but it's a lot cheaper to grow them from seed. The whole package of seeds, this is 5,000. Is that what that says? 5,000 seeds for $12. It is significantly cheaper to grow them from seed than it is to buy sets. You don't have to buy a package that big, but still, it's a lot cheaper, and we really enjoy onions. They're a really big seller at market. So, all right, so that's the 3 sets of onions, or the 3 types of onions I'm going to plant today. And I'm probably going to next week or throughout the week, in between looking at student work, I'm going to start planting some perennials and get them started. So I have nice sized plants to put out. So we have a few things I want to do. I need to do some perennial flowers. I've got some elderberry seeds I want to try. And I also have rhubarb that I would like to try. So that's on the list of things to try as well. I just need to label this before I forget. You are not going to remember what this is. Be sure to label your trays. Parade Organic. Today is February 3rd. If it's the whole tray is the same thing, tape does the job. It's enough. And there's no need to worry. And there we go. And that's it. So thanks for joining us today. We're going to start doing more videos as I start seeding and preparing the garden. I'm going to try and do some cooking videos as well, because I do a lot of that this time of year. A lot of comfort food type stuff. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.